champ is here. The 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 champ is here. Yo, welcome. My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. I'm a flow state specialist, the greatest equilibrium shifter on the interwebs. Okay, let's get it. Upward Spiral gang, if you're here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like, okay, because that helps me. It helps the algorithm. And whoa, I just did this and it recognized a thumbs up for me. Whoa, that's wild. That's really cool, actually, that Zoom is able to do that. In any case, let's get started. I am the savage shaman. I am the priest beast. I'm here to deliver this gospel, this message for you today, and that is day 16 of multidimensional March. The message that's coming through is you gotta hit pause on the video game of life to tap into your genius zone. Okay, if you want to be like one of these great inventors or one of these great trailblazers that paved the way before them, and you feel that inkling inside of you, that calling, that's calling for you to show up in some way, that's calling for you to entertain oneself, to amuse oneself, and begin moving towards what you truly prefer. Okay, so when you hit pause on the simulation, when you're going, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me take my mind off of this for a second. Let me go for a walk. Let me go for a stroll. Let me go downstairs. Let me eat some pie. Let me drink some coffee. Let me reconvene. Let me recalibrate. Let me get back into my second home, which is my second brain, which is my second heart. Let me just relax, because to tap into the zone, I need to relax into it. That is the secret of all secrets. The release phase of the flow cycle requires you to play, to go into Lila. Okay? To go into that playful dimension where you allow yourself to truly be both, convergent and divergent. Convergent, you're putting on your noise canceling headphones, right? You're locking the door, you're getting rid or eliminating all distraction. You're just focused in, you're hyper zoned in, right? But then you also need this divergent energy, this imagination, blueprints, brainstorming, right? Like having all of these different ideas. But then you have also something called the paradox of choice, where the more information you feed yourself, the more difficult it is to make that decision. It's also the law of implementation velocity. The longer you take to decide upon something, the more difficult it gets. You see what I'm saying? So in order to get ourselves more certain, more decisive, more moving towards our path working, knowing that we stand by this, knowing that this is our thing, all set a sail. Sails ahoy, okay? Set aboard, sails ahoy, okay? We're moving forward with that momentum, with that energy, right? And so we want to understand that if we diverge too much, we're going to be floating up in the cosmos into void, into nothingness. You're dancing in the void. You're avoiding dance. Your avoidance, right? That you're dancing in the void. So when you can get out of that floating around, whoa, hey man, is that a unicorn? Man, cool. Is that like one show that I watched when I was a kid? Oh, is that a rabbit? Is that a bunny in the sky? You need to hit pause, okay? You need to hit pause. Because if you're trying to decide to go on a vacation and you look at like 1,100 places, your brain is going to be completely frazzled and scattered and it won't be able to decide. That's the paradox of choice, bro. So you got to actually be like, okay, wait a second. Let me just pick between, South America, by the way. Shout out to Costa Rica. We're headed there in August for our next event. So if you are interested in that, shoot me a message ASAP. Let's get it. But yeah, like let's say you're just looking at South America, Asia, and Europe. Okay, now you've kind of classified it to places, and then now you have a better map, right? And you can create like maybe an overlap of what are great about those places. You can make a pros and cons list, right? You can do so many other things, helps you decide. Same thing in Netflix, right? You pick from 5 movies, a lot easier than picking from 100 different genres and like, you know, going on this rabbit hole quest of like, what are the best-selling movies from the year 1952? And then going on this other rabbit. This is why I like to muscle test, you know, again, use kinesiology and muscle testing to just make a lot of my intuitive choices and decisions, but I trust in that. I trust in the faculty of my subconscious mind and my body. And I almost treat this whole thing like destiny, and destiny again relates to this idea or concept of amor fati. Okay, hold on 1 second. I think there is something playing in the background, some kind of music. Let me just see what this is. What in the world is this? Okay. You can definitely hear it. Okay, stopped it. Ooh, got him. Okay. Now I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted. You see what I mean? So our mind is like that, right? It's just quick. It's like, it's very like, it loses its train of thought, right? So the point that you were making, it gets skewed. Okay, it goes divergent and then it goes convergent. Okay, so your ability to break things down, like especially with feminine energy, is very difficult. Okay, specifically with women, right? Not all women. It's difficult to generalize for everybody, but you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of what I've noticed is women don't like to be forced into making a decision. It's like the worst thing, right? It's just like, that irritates the feminine so much because they just want to dance and go with the, you know, the music of life. You get what I mean? So if you're like, what do you want to eat today? It's like completely like, you know, against that feminine nature that you're making. That statement goes against that curious, explorative, creative, uh, radiant energy. Okay. So if you say, hey, you want Thai food, you want to do Italian, or you want to do sushi today, it gives them that ability that you've now boiled it down. Now, maybe they end up not liking the food or whatever. That comes after, right? That's after you've made the decision. Okay. And you being able to handle that argument or handle that communication in a sense, because it's like it all comes down to how you are communicating. Okay. I mean, I might have overlooked this, but at times, you know, it's when dating someone from a different cultural context too. It's like, and my whole life I've been, you know, dating international in a sense. You know what I mean? I'm not only going and dating in one race or something like that. I'm not a racist, okay? Okay, don't flag this video. Don't cancel me. Okay. But in any case, you know, this idea, this whole concept of pausing the video game is so important, because what do we do instead in the video game of life, right? The simulation we're all living in. We fast forward through it. We're like zipping through. Okay? We're zipping through instead of taking a breath, savoring the moment, stopping to smell the roses, going outside, you know, really just embellishing in all of life and its creations. And once you realize that you are the creator, that brings you into that Leela. Right? When you can be like, oh, wait a second, I have a say in this. Okay. So maybe destiny is just the free will of my higher self. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe fate or destiny is just the free will of my higher self. And when you can think like this, it changes your entire paradigm. It makes you relax more, right? That thought itself makes me relax more, knowing that all the synchronicities and everything seems to be lining up. And if you are interested in this mystical, you know, transformative talks, you've got to tune into our radio show as well as our whatchamacallit, our Sunday sessions, okay, where I specifically channel these different deities, okay. What I do is I sit there, I tap into that gamma wave frequency. I allow myself to go into the frequency of this being. I tap into that. I listen through what comes through to me. So we have these things called telepathic ears in a sense. And this is what is so, so important. It's almost like a Tibetan trumpet, okay, that goes like this. So we have our chakras, right? But then we also have these, like these ears where you can hear things, okay? Now, to some, it's like, you know, this sounds a little bit schizophrenic, right? You're like, whoa, what do you mean you can hear things? However, this is such a subtle sense. It's such a subtle, intuitive sense that it's difficult to describe through words. It's a felt internal experience that a lot of people might have. Okay, I have this gift of clairaudience. I've had it for a very long time, where I can hear things. I can hear pitches sometimes that maybe different frequencies, maybe different, whispers at times, or things like this. And it's mainly either coming from me or it's coming from some other energy. And I always muscle test to confirm this. And I say we as Primal Sutra, we work with this metaphysical flow state family. Okay, this metaphysical flow state family that we depend on. Not only depend on, but we are treating them like friends, like family. You guys get that? And that's a really, really intimate relationship in that sense, because it's not this, fakeness, or like in a business, these business coaches who are like manufacturing authenticity. Like, hey, look how cool I am. Look how awesome I am. Oh, yeah, I did this thing. And oh, look at these results. And then I did that. And oh, this is my testimonial. And that's that. Listen, you need to hit pause, brother. You need to hit pause for a second and just self-reflect. For just a second, just a millisecond, 20 minutes of your day. That's it. You just need 15 to get into flow state, right? So what if you took at least like 30 minutes a day to do something that you love? Just that. And you start with that. And you let that craft be your teacher. You as an artist painting, you let the paintbrush guide you. You let your higher self guide you. You get out of your own way. You get out of your own drama, right? This is a quote that this is my quote. I got this download. Well, it's not more so my quote, because a lot of my quotes do come from these deities, right? They tell me these great, like, word alchemy things, and, these sentences that are just incredible, man. Like, I don't know where this stuff is really coming from, but I do know it's not this realm. It's not this dimension, okay? I want to speak about the 4 dimensions, but before, in terms of Kabbalah, but now I want to just mention the fact that, drama, okay, and dharma. So dharma is just saying ha at the drama, okay? So you are taking seriously what the gods made for fun, okay? So dharma, or your path, or your Tao, or your pathway, is saying ha, okay? HA, which are the 2 letters in dharma, which creates drama. If you take those 2 letters away, ha is saying ha to drama. Man, to some of you, that's like, oh, that's a quirky wordplay. To some of you, you're like, whoa, that's deep, bro. That's so deep, bro. Like, being able to laugh at my path working, like not take it so seriously that I cripple myself. Right? When you take something so seriously, you're squeezing, you're holding on so tight for dear life towards that thing, and everything is around that thing, and it's like, if my mother goes, I will die. I've heard this before, right? Like, a lot of people, they feel like they're so dependent on other people in their life that if they lose a loved one, if they lose a sister, if they lose somebody else, they lose all control. And hey, I've lost my grandparents. I know what that feels like. Okay, I know I felt lost before. It's a deep internal sadness, a residue of grief that needs to get flushed out and expressed and moved around in the physical body. You can't just suppress for many years. Yeah, I won't allow myself to feel this. Yeah, he was a good man. She was a good woman. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Mentally grieving. But are you physically grieving? And maybe you're not physically grieving because you're in that apathy or that numbness, or maybe you're in a very low depressive state where you can't feel anymore, or you fizzle, you're overstimulated so much with the dopamine that you can't feel anymore. You're desensitized to these normal things. When you go like this in your arm, can you feel it? Do you have intuitive awareness, right? Or is it kind of like, oh, I don't really feel anything, you know? You've lost the sense of touch. So I'm not saying become more sensitive and start crying all the time, bro. But you got to be intuitive. You got to have that ability to perceive beyond just all these five senses, man. Yes, we can see. Yes, we can hear. But what about these other hidden senses? These psychic senses, these psychic insights. And this happens through something called light codes or DNA activation codes. And how I've chosen to understand this is these are codes from the universe put together in such a mathematical or geometric way, like working with something like sacred geometry that can actually change your frequency, change your consciousness as you're looking at it, right? This thing behind me, this is a pattern, but that pattern changes our sense of awareness. This is why a fractal nature, right, can change your awareness. It's the singularity. It's that unification point where the fractal is coming out of that reminds us of source in some way. And these source codes or these source outlines that you're getting. Oh man, now I got to get into the four dimensions, okay? These four places. The first, and these are steps, the steps towards manifestation in a sense, okay? So first is the vision. The vision, exilios. That vision is that most potent thing that you see in your mind's eye. You know, you have a vision statement. You understand that I see this thing forming like this. But you also understand its context and its purpose within the vision. You see what I'm saying? So if an architect came over to your house, you're not just like, I'll have a garden, I'll have a bathroom, you know, I'll have a, yo, that's a house, bro. Okay, what are you describing? Like, okay, purple bathroom. Okay, now you're getting more specific. That's not a vision. Purple bathroom is not a vision, right? So the vision comes from you telling them about what kind of a home is this. Okay, this is a weekend getaway retreat home. This is only for partying. This house is going to be made so that people can come over and it's a family home. Now you have a vision, right? Some overarching principle, unifying principle, right? A theme. And this is so important for your life itself. Mine is flow. My theme is flow. I picked it already. Dibs. Okay, I called dibs. Okay, shotgun. I'm gonna do the flow thing. Okay. So that is the vision, right? That is the vision, but more so, it's the feeling that comes with it, right? It's so much that you can take from the vision. So that's like that bird's eye view, like that grand overarching theme, right? And that you can see, you can visually see. So if you close your eyes and someone, you know, who's maybe paraplegic and they close their eyes and they meditate and they imagine themselves walking, right? Now they're actually, what are they doing? They're strengthening that vision. The more they think about it, the more life force energy you're sending to it. So it's actually creating this thought form. And remember yesterday I was talking about the fact that a thought form is used in culture. Your imaginary friend can also be a thought form, okay? Because you've thought about it so many times that it's there in your subconscious now as a thing, as an entity, as a being. Okay, so McDonald's is a thought form. BMW is a thought form, okay? Tesla is a thought form. All of these things that you're using, all these products, they're all thought forms, okay? Somebody or a group of people, and it helps to manifest faster in groups, right? That's how companies grow. You get employees, everybody's on the same page, same clear goal in mind, same objective. Boom, it manifests faster, right? And in this game of life, you can't just do it all yourself. You got to collaborate in this day and age, right? You got to be open. You got to explore different things, have different podcast guests, have different people coming through, create a tribe, create a community, create a sense of belongingness, a reservoir, a Shangri-La for people, so they can actually access these different realms and be in that pocket of that flow state magnetism and that electric energy, right? Yesterday, we got this random light code of like, the son of Magneto is Quicksilver. And that was all based on me putting in like a code into gematria of the flow temple, you know, typing in flow temple, seeing that the gematria of flow temple is also matching with Quicksilver being speed, hopping timelines really fast with the flow state empire that we're creating, or this it's not so much an empire, it's more so we're medicine men, right? We're here to heal the warriors who've been down in the dumps. We're here to bring people up and lift up the human soul, the human spirit, that evolution, the energy of life itself moving forward, the advancement of the capacity of the human individual, the endless possibilities of what that can morph into, you see? If you're noticing in my voice, this is a mercurial energy that I'm pulling from, okay? So this mercurial energy just keeps speaking, and it keeps glowing in its own radiance. Its communication is very clear cut and very decisive. So my mercurial energy is telling me to go back to the 4 dimensions, okay, and end the video. So basically, stage 1, vision. Stage 2, outline. What is the outline? You're outlining something, meaning you are putting the pieces of the puzzle together, right? You're not really setting everything up yet. You're just knowing that these are the things that are required, okay? You're outlining it. You're figuring it out. You're listing it down. You're kind of brainstorming it all, okay? You're going from this divergence to this convergence, slowly, 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 slowly. You're shifting dimensions. Another dimension shift. Another dimension shift, okay? So it's really important for you to notice that you're going from vision, then to outline. And then you're actually in the formulation phase, okay? This is the creation phase, in a sense, where you're actually putting it up and putting it together. And then finally, you have the full manifest form, okay? Now, the full manifest form is the implementation. You actually putting in the steps and making it possible, making it happen, physicalizing it, materializing it. You know, it's like you have all the materials of the home, then you got to outline it, you know, have a blueprint, put it together, okay? Now all the steps are in between that are coming together. And so it goes vision, outline, structure, implementation. Vision, outline, structure, implementation. Okay, so how is structure different from outline? You're probably wondering. Outline is like the general framework around it. Okay, the step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3. Maybe you're categorizing certain things and having subcategories. Okay, so maybe my theme of my life is flow state, but underneath that, there's many subcategories. Okay, like maybe one room or dungeon in my world is like this world of like masculine feminine polarity room, right? It's like the masculine polarity room, feminine polarity room that I can enter, right? Then there's another room where I'm looking at the different philosophies of flow state, right? The Taoism, or let's just say Stoicism, all of these, Buddhism, Hinduism, all of these different, schools of thought or different religious texts, maybe you're even in that room. It's the sacred room that I go into. Then there's another room for, the dark psychology and the light psychology rooms, right? Dark psychology is all this like the dark shadow of the planet and how there's crime and there's war and all that stuff. That gunk information is in there, so I can help heal those people too. But then I understand there's the light psychology side, the positive psychology side too, you see? So I know dark psychology is a term by itself used in manipulation and things like this, but also like seduction is probably in that room itself. You guys get that? So I understand that there's these different rooms within the overarching building or the mansion. The flow temple is being created, but the flow temple has different rooms, each signifying something else. Hey, in the mating room, okay, in the room where there's a bed and I sleep together with a partner or partners, that room is not going to be used for other things. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to be shared for, of course you can, but then you're getting the divergent confused with the convergent energy of that room. You get what I mean? So that room has its own essence. It's like Harry Potter or Hogwarts, right? One room. Now, if you mix Narnia in there, if you mix, the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in there, and you start, mixing all these old cartoons from the 70s in there, now you're like, what even is this room, bro? This is like a kid's imagination forest something, but it's not a room. It's not a functional space that represents one vibe. The vibe of my room here is flow, baby, right? It's just flow. Everything kind of flows together, and I flow on the floor, BJJ grappling and wrestling, right? I turn my entire bed into a mat. That's it. But don't you want some kind of comfort, some sense of luxury in your life? Well, yeah, I've had luxury all my life, bro. What do you think? Okay? I've had that. I now want to challenge myself. I want to carve myself into a monster, into a god. I'm not comparing myself to all these other coaches, bro. I'm comparing myself to like Diogenes or like the Makara of like the Indian pantheon, right? The sea monster of the Vedic myths. You guys get that? Like, I'm not comparing myself to like some random stranger on the internet that makes YouTube videos. Hello. Hey there, guys. Hit like and subscribe on my video. Welcome. Okay. So tired of that. Hey, everybody does it. It's so weak. Okay, just be you. Just speak. Yo, you gotta just be you. You gotta just speak. Okay. Enough of this sugar coating, adding fluff at the end of things, like compensating, trying to make it extra cool. Okay, moments when you're trying to like force your communication and it doesn't hit, you know what I mean? You just got to come back to you. Where is my I am awareness? Where is my presence? I'm speaking from here. I am not the one yapping my, gums. I am the words. I'm not letting the words speak for me, as AZD would say, right? Some people hide behind their words and their intellect, and they let the words speak for them. But really, they're a hollow shell inside. They're a hollow human being. I'm hollow in a different sense. I have depth, okay? I have that deep Scorpio reservoir energy of that darkness, but also the light that brings it forward and evolves, right? I have the lower reptile energy of the Scorpio going in through and pulling that energy up with that bird energy, coming through with that lower serpentine force, that Naga quality, right, that I have from the Naga lineage, pulling through this higher awareness. And that's been our path working. It's been going like this. It's like a bungee cord. The more you can do shadow work, the more you can do light work, the more greater bliss states you will feel. You get it? But a lot of people were unwilling to face the gunk. We're unwilling to go through the pain. We're unwilling to be with the fear until it transmutes. Or we're actively not doing anything with it. We're just letting it simmer and sit there and hoping that life will settle itself out. You need a vision for everything in your life. Let me tell you that. And it's partly a co-creation with the divine. Okay, it's not only the divine working for you. It's not you just doing everything yourself. It's like you and the divine together, and the social aspect to it too. So there's theological, there's social, and then there's personal. Okay, the personal starts it off. That's like the chain reaction. So for the vision to actually take place, and now whoa, different people know me, you know, someone else is watching this video, you know, this video gets shared, you know, somebody else resonates with this frequency. Some other person is coming together, seeing what I'm doing and offering me suddenly a job on the spot or like some kind of a speaking gig or something like this. You get what I mean? Like that is the energy and advancement of life. And I'm just following that advancement of life. I'm not trying to force myself to go to all of these different places and like push ahead and trying to speak. That person is like the rah-rah, motivational, sugary packet person, right? Like they're just going to give you the no, 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 no. And then they reach a crescendo and then they stop making videos. How many people do you know like that, bro? Right? And I've been making videos every single day. Look at my stats. Look at my stats, bro. That's the thing. You get what I mean? Like other people are talking about making videos or thinking about making videos or, oh yeah, I wonder if it'd be a cool video if I did it like this. And then I kind of zoomed in this face feature. And then that's not my, I'm not like some kind of a cinematographer, bro, that I'm going to like sit here and edit my videos and chop them up very nicely and be very eloquent with them. I can give that to my team or something to do that. If you want to do that for me, go ahead. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit here and take away from my vision, take away from my purity, my source, my essence within me. You get it? So that's it. Today, I feel a greater level of clarity, depth, and freedom. And also, I have MMA in an hour. So I got to get ready, bro. You get what I'm saying now? You get what I'm saying? Okay? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that. Oh, I don't know why I was going to say Hilda. Isn't that my ex's mom's name or something? Anyway, whatever. It's so random, right? What even is that, right? Like suddenly a word pops into my head like that. Or it's like a Freudian slip. You get what I mean? Like, I'm sure I'll figure that out. I'll be able to link it to something that I said and then go back. You see, that's the way that the subconscious doesn't make sense, bro. You get what I mean? It's gonna be bizarre. It's gonna give you a color, a sound, a light, you know, a soft whisper, you know, a little small tap on the shoulder or a large tap on the head, like Lord Hypnos telling us to go to sleep or something, you know. But anyway, let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Us, hit that like and subscribe button. You already know what to do. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Let nobody doubt us because we are absolutely coming for the win. Let's